I want to drink it straight from the tap. I want it raw. I don't want to wait a moment. Right when the milk is good, I want to start drinking the milk. Same thing goes with women. I don't want to turn 30 and find some 20-year-old, 29-year-old woman that I have something in common with, and it's like, hey, properly aged, like wine. Women don't age like wine, they age like milk. They don't age like wine. That's not how their hormones work. That's not how they work. Yeah, I gotta find my 16-year-old wife. Probably when I turn 30 or something. Because here's the thing, I don't want to be like, let's say I get married to a 18-year-old now. 6-year age difference. When I turn 40, she's going to be 34. Ew. Well, if I'm 30 and she's 16, 14-year age difference. When I'm 50, she'll be 36. When I'm 40, she'll be 26. And then now we're talking here. Now we're cooking with gas. Now you can see an alternative vision for how things could be. I want a 16-year-old that's untouched, pristine, untouched, uncorrupted, innocent. That's what we all want. And all 16-year-olds want an older guy who's like capable and strong and everything to sweep them off their feet. That's what everybody wants. That's what everybody wants.
And what you just seen there was our old buddy Nick Fuentes. I mean, what do you think of that? I mean, it's funny that this guy, this nationalist, because for those of you who don't know who he is, he's a Christian nationalist that's way out there that has a Taliban mindset. And I said, that goes perfectly in set. That what he's talking about, wanting a 16-year-old when he's 30, 14 years older, and all of this stuff, that goes right in line with the way that they think and the way that they want to control America and the world. And that's just another form of control, another form of perversion in such a way too, because they're always the one talking about child sacrifices and all of this wild stuff like that. And it just goes to show you where these folks are. That only in America, in other parts of the world, I understand that other cultures is a thing. Even back many years, decades ago, many people marry older gentlemen like that because of stability and all of these things like that. But it coming from a guy that's corrupt as the way he is, and you talking about he wants someone innocent and all of this stuff. Well, you know what? The minute that they link up with this guy and those that like him, it's all going to go. They're no longer going to be innocent because they want to mold them into who they want to. The Taliban style mindset to where they want to rule and have the women secondary, as he's done in many messages. I'm not going to play them there, but it made me think. Two stories real quick, because this video won't be long. I've been busy, many of you know. But it made me think. One where when I was younger, when I was 21, I remember I met this girl and she was 17. She was a senior in high school, about to graduate. So she was right at the edge. It was like a month or two before she was going to graduate. And I remember I picked her up and I went to her house for the first time. And her stepfather, how old are you? Came down and I said, I'm 21, this and that. This guy went off on me and threw me out of the house and stuff. Said I had no business talking to her. And she was 17, I was 21. He went off on me and stuff. And I couldn't understand. I'm like, it's only just a couple of, 4 years difference, if that. And he wasn't having it. And his wife was trying to calm him down and I had to go. And that was just so funny just for that little difference there. But you know what? I wish some guy would with my daughter, some 30-year-old, and try to approach her. And she's 16. If she was 16, she's 18 now. But how would you feel about that? Those of you that's got daughters, would you want some male into some old guy, especially this nationalist guy that acts like he represents the Lord and all of this stuff? But they have this mindset where they want to basically have the church run America and the world, as he talks about, and have this type of guy be your daughter's boyfriend or future husband and have babies and all of this stuff with this person, because he talks about on other videos having many babies is what he said, that it should be no birth control, many babies, all of this stuff, all of it. Those of you know that's listening to the many messages. I try to put the video in there for those of you that are new so you can see what he has said in the past and all of this stuff. But it made me just think, because that's a dangerous mindset for him, because he has a strong following and wanting these younger girls and all of this. I mean, it's perversion like that, basically. And it's a dangerous set, because I know in many parts of the world, and it brought me back to this guy right here, Yasser Said. Now, I don't know if many of you know who Yasser Said is, but he was on the FBI's 10 most wanted list for a while, and he got busted. I'm so glad. It took almost, I think, 12 years or so. And his brother, his family was hiding him. They wasn't sure if he went back to Egypt or wherever he was from there. They wasn't sure. But the FBI caught his butt. And he had his 2 daughters killed because he didn't want them to be Americanized, but yet he comes over here to America, which doesn't make sense. What you come over here for then? You come over to America and getting mad because his daughters didn't want them to have friends with Americans. It was allegedly that he was sexually abusing them too. And then the mother set them up because he had so much control of his wife, where they were staying at their auntie's house and all of that. And I'm going to play the clip of his trial so you guys can see it. And it'll play a brief moment of the call when the daughter was gunned down in the taxi cab.
Jurors heard the final words of Sarah Said. Prosecutors played the 911 call she made after being shot 9 times. Yasser Said, the man accused of killing his 2 daughters, Sarah and Amina, listened intently. The 911 call taker testified about what he heard.
At some point, I asked her what's going on. She says that I'm dying, that's what's up. And then at some point she pleads, stop it, stop it, stop it.
And the jury heard from the Omni manager who saw the sisters in the taxi cab and immediately knew something was wrong.
I didn't want to open the door, I didn't want to touch the door, didn't want to touch the cab at that point. It looked like that they just weren't alive.
The first officer on the scene also testified, and more than 12 years later is still emotional when he talks about seeing the girls in that cab.
I told the dispatcher that I have two deceased people at the scene, and that I need more units to help cordon off a perimeter.
Prosecutors brought in a cart full of physical evidence that included parts of the bullet-riddled taxi. And they presented pictures of bullets and shell casings. An Irving crime scene investigator testified Amina was shot at point-blank range.
Weapon was very, very close to the victim.
Prosecutors say they also found passports for the girls, their father, and their mother. They say Said was trying to force the girls to go to Egypt with him. In Dallas, I'm Rebecca Lopez.
But he was trying to get the oldest one, which was, she was 16, 17, somewhere in there. She was still in high school, trying to marry her off in Egypt to an older man. It was what he was trying to do, which they do that in some of the other countries and other places. And she said, I wasn't having it. And the father did not like that. And he did. And if you want to see, it's on, I watched it on Amazon, Honor Killing. So if you ain't seen it, find it on a platform. Excellent documentary if you want to see how sick this guy is. And his brother, his sister, all of them. And they're in prison. Right now, I think the brother-in-law, there's some of them, they've been convicted. And he's been convicted and sentenced to life. I'm shocked he didn't get the death penalty, the way he did them girls and the way that he did that. But this is the type of stuff. So the point I'm trying to make is that this perversion and the way that Nick and all of this, talking about the young girls and all, it's that same mindset that some of these sects, these way out there sects, S-E-C-T-S, I think that's how you spell it. But, these other off branches of these false style religions and beliefs and all of this stuff. And this is what they do and what they are. And these are the folks that want to run you and run society and tell you, hey, come with us. Come with us. Join us. We love the Lord. We serve the Lord. Come with us. You'll be okay. You'll be a great follower and a messenger and ambassador for Christ. That's a lie. A lie from the pits of hell. You get and link up with these types of nationalists, these types of people, you're going to find yourself on a one-way road trip to hell. Because these folks don't represent the Lord. They don't represent the true gospel message of Jesus Christ. They represent lies is what they represent. In this case, this FBI case right here, it still hurts my heart to know. Unfortunately, because I know someone personally that was forced to marry because of their culture when they were 14 and had like a baby and all of this stuff, and they didn't want to do that. And there's so many out there that's trapped with stuff like this in the name of religion and all of that. And it's a daggone shame. And we got to continue to pray, because that's nothing but the devil and his cohorts working together to pull people and keep them trapped and destroy them. But you know what? What do we do with Satan? We punch his butt right on between the chops on this channel. Evangelism for God is the name of the channel. My name is Maurice Braxton. If you're new, consider subscribing, hit like, coming along for the journey, because we're going to continue marching on, talking about issues the church run away from, talk about stuff that people don't want to talk about, and all of that, and we'll continue to go forward. So until the next video, my friends, hit like, subscribe, or whatever, and we'll continue marching forward. Take care. God bless.